Now let me move to the second reason for needing to change the way we run schools. I'm going to introduce you to a research called ACE, A-C-E. It stands for Adverse Childhood Experience. It is a research that was first published in year 2015, which is recent, large-scale research, which says that when children experiences negative experiences when they were young, the likelihood that they will attempt suicide goes up by 12 times. And huge increase in drug use and alcoholism as well. And this research found what is really happening. First, there is a brain developmental issue. The brain does not develop normally. So you end up having like ADHD, attention deficits and hyperactivities. So the students will have social, emotional, cognitive problems, which means that they cannot concentrate, which means that they cannot control their emotion, and they will have hard time socializing with other students. So there's a lot of stress being built up. So in the end, what they do is either they fight or flight. And then when they grow up to be an adult, then they continue to have bad habits and problems. Children having negative or adverse experience is at very, very high risk. And the research found out what are the childhood adverse experience. And they found many, many different reasons. And they categorize in different categories. I like to categorize in 5 different sets. Adverse childhood experiences are physical abuse, emotional or psychological abuse, parents fighting, attachment injury. Oh, by the way, attachment injury is when parents let other people raise their kids by sending to different places. And the 5th one is lack of proper guidance. I think you can well imagine when parents fight and when you're a small child, how worried and scared and sad and even guilty that you felt. Kids end up with a lot of stress. So you have to understand what stress does to your brain. So when you are abused or not taken care of, and if you get stressed, then brain, we can think of 3 different levels. Deep inside the brain is what we call reptilian brain that controls your life. Breathing and heart beating, that kind of things, that controls life. And on top of that is the called limbic system that pretty much controls your emotion. But even dogs and cats and cows have emotion. What makes us, the human, different is the fact that we have cerebral part of the brain, which is about thinking. We think and act like a human only if all 3 levels of brain function well. But we know that when we are stressed, we get mad and frustrated, all the anger, all the emotions open up. It's called emotional flooding. In this situation, the boy is no longer a human. This boy becomes a reptile. And reptiles do one of the 2 things, either fight or flight. And fight means aggression, violence, and cursing. And flight means smoking, drinking, games, getting addicted to gambling, all these things are flight, including suicidal attempts. So not only students, but for us, when we are under stress, we do become like animals. But unfortunately, all societies in the world are becoming more and more stressed out. Unfortunately, that is true with Vietnam too. Look, the principal here becomes all white hair. I have all hair out. It's stress, but it's even worse for the children. When we were kids, we lived in an agricultural society. We have big family. So when we were a baby and when we were a child, there are so many people taking care of us. So we felt safe, secure, and cared, and it was a very stable environment. But you know that your society is quickly becoming a nuclear family. Is that right? Both parents are working. Children have nobody taking care of them. And then parents are worried. So they want to make sure that their children do well in school and go to a good school. So they demand a lot. So everybody in the family is stressed out. And everybody is becoming reptiles. Well, unfortunately, that's not where it ends. Single family, broken family are on the rise everywhere. And when you are alone, you feel anxious, depressed, and very sad. That's not where it ends. But then human beings have to have a connection. So they find connection in SNS. So we have artificial intelligence and artificial families. Meaningless, emptiness, and there's no hope in that family. All this is unhappiness. It destroys people. They are unable to do anything. So you got to prevent now before too late. Once it's too late, then you cannot go back. What you have in Vietnam, very close family, very important.
Trích dẫn các phân tích khoa học, diễn giả của chúng ta, giáo sư Bích Châu đã cho thấy hậu quả của áp lực khi xã hội căng thẳng, trường học căng thẳng, gia đình căng thẳng, trẻ nhỏ chịu nhiều trải nghiệm tổn thương thời thơ ấu, dẫn đến những hậu quả nghiêm trọng về hành vi và hủy hoại cuộc sống khi trẻ trưởng thành. Chúng ta cần thoát khỏi nền giáo dục buồn bã. Phải có biện pháp phòng vệ cho những tổn thương của trẻ nhỏ, của gia đình, của xã hội ngay lúc này khi còn chưa muộn. Như vậy, hai lý do cho câu hỏi vì sao phải thay đổi trường học và cải cách giáo dục đã được phân tích. Vậy, cần làm thế nào để xây dựng được trường học hạnh phúc?